Hello, beautiful being. Welcome to In Her Dreams and welcome to your reading. I am so grateful that you're taking time to tune in to see what messages are flowing in from Spirit for you. Ooh. Yes. Thank you, Spirit. Ashe. Decisive action gets you to where you are supposed to be, where you will be. It's a sure thing. It's a sure thing. You're going to be where you're supposed to be. Decisive action gets you there. In the last reading, indecision came through, and as I was clearing the energy and getting ready for this reading, it was like it just kept coming through that somebody wants you stuck in indecision. You know, should I do this? Should I do that? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. And so really what that is not believing in yourself. So choose to believe in you. Choose to believe in you. Yeah, decisive action. And that's very much like Wands energy, like that flame was popping. Yeah. It's like, I said what I said type of energy. Okay? That's what it is. I said what I said. You know what I mean? Strength. Yes. That lion sitting on that mountaintop or on that hill is not questioning himself. You don't have to question yourself either. Now, when we're in a reflective state and we're healing and we're in that soft space of spirit where we're just purely connecting and we're reflecting and all of that, it's okay to question through reflection. You see what I'm saying? But still, like, the way that works is where we receive guidance from spirit that helps us to reflect. So even reflection, it doesn't happen out of self-doubt. You don't ever have to doubt yourself. Okay? And you don't ever have to fear if you made the wrong choice either. Sometimes you receive guidance that, okay, it's good to do this, or I want to grow in this way, or this is something that I want to expand my awareness in. But you don't ever have to fear making the wrong choice. Set an intention to make the right one. Tune into spirit, and you'll do exactly what you need to do. Okay? Yeah, decisive action is very important here. Hope. Yeah. The actions that you take, especially over the next couple of days, will bring hope to you. Divine really wants you to not second guess yourself. Okay? Because that's painful. You know, it's like when you try to do something and the whole time you're like, but what if I mess up? What if this goes wrong? You know, it's like the whole thing just sucks then. There's nothing enjoyable about that. So you don't have to go through this process that you're going through suffering. You don't have to go through it while suffering. Yeah, have compassion for yourself. Be gentle with yourself. You know, a lot of us, it's so easy for us to be gentle with others, but how gentle are we with ourselves? How much grace do you give yourself? That is the question. Okay? Yes. Your intuition is tapped in and turned on. But it will be even more so when you give yourself compassion, because it came out like this. Like, not crossed, but the message here is that you will be even more intuitive the more patient you are with yourself. Okay? Yeah, having patience with yourself is so incredibly important. It's like a lot of times we're like, what can I do to be more intuitive? What can I do to do this, to do that? So often it's the simple things. It was coming through to me because I took a spiritual bath yesterday, preparing for the 8/8 portal. It was just like a last minute thing. I was like, yeah, I want to do that. And I was like, it is so important for our intuition, for us to connect with water. You know, taking a bath at least once a week is so helpful. Going for a swim. It doesn't matter even if it's in a pool. Better if it's in a natural body of water, but if not, it's still water. It's still the element of water that you're connecting with. And it really does help when you connect with water to improve your intuition. It really does help. Okay, oh yeah, they said to go to the cards after this. Ooh, these fell, so I feel like that's important. I'm going to put those right there. I am going to read them. But let me shuffle these first. Okay, I'm going to take this one because it's facing up. Somebody's addicted to stalking you. What's new? What's new? And then you're leveling up. Okay? Now, the fact that it came out that somebody's addicted to stalking you, oh wow, I put that right over the strength card. Wow, because you're strong. And that's kind of like, you look at how I reacted to that. I was like, oh, whoop-de-doo. You know, what's new?
I'm having trouble playing that right now.
Uh-huh. Because somebody's having trouble stalking you. Somebody's having trouble getting into your energy. I'm just going to let that ride. Divine wants it silent, but music sounds were playing. Somebody wants to stop your intuition. Remember I was just talking about water? You're leveling up. That's not just because I wrote that thinking like it's kind of like physical and you're glowing and all of that. This is about your patience with yourself, your intuition, and the hope that you're manifesting in your life. You're leveling up in all areas. Also with that smiley face there, I'm getting the energy of joy. Somebody has been stopped in their tracks. Also what I'm getting is that, okay, so because those were water sounds, it's like somebody was really, and I was just looking at my Neptune poster, okay? Somebody was caught in an illusion, thinking that they could always tap in and tune into your energy. But you're leveling up. It's like you're out of their reach now. They were trying to connect with you telepathically in the dream state. They can't do it. Now, this is what I'm getting. I'm channeling a lot here. A lot of times when people can no longer connect with you in a certain way, like this person is blocked. I'm telling you, like they cannot connect with your dream state. They cannot there's something about trying to connect with your heart space. Okay? There's something that they can't do there. Maybe trying to influence your decisions about your heart space, about your connections, about what you open up to. All right? But if this person can no longer connect with you in one way, they might be trying to connect with you in another. There's something about you being out of their reach energetically, and so now they want to reach out in the physical realm. Could be something there. All right, let me take a look at these. If I could turn back time. Somebody really regrets the way that they interacted with you. I'm hearing the way that they left things. They're regretting it. Yeah, they wish they could stop time and turn back to, okay, they wish they could stop time. So there's something happening in this person's life that they just want to make it stop. That's what I'm hearing, make it stop. You're braver than most. Yeah. You already got this strength card. Also what I'm seeing is you're braver than most came out over intuition. So there's something that you are able to view on the astral realm that a lot of people would be afraid of. Maybe in your astral travels you have seen certain things, certain spirits, certain energies. Also, there are things that you're tuned into that are on another level. But sometimes it's been difficult to view that in the spirit realm or to sense that in the spirit realm. And so you've had to ground yourself and cleanse your energy. Yeah. Eat fresh. 11:11 on the timer. This opens portals to your physical abundance, I'm hearing. So you might be eating healthier foods at this time, or really watching what you're eating, conscious eating. All day long, you're loving yourself. You're taking good care of yourself all day long. Their whole life revolves around targeting people they're jealous of. Yeah. And this is a person who targets people that they're just jealous of, but they were envious of you. This was malicious envy that was coming through this addicted stalker. Okay? There's something that's been released though, because they're not able to connect with you on the same level that they were able to in the past. So you've done something. Even if it was just a shift in your thought frequency, okay? The frequency of your thoughts. You have shifted something. And they're not able to reach you energetically. Congratulations, beautiful being. You have a powerful divine gift. Yes, you do. You have a powerful divine gift. Let's see what else comes through. Second house, money and possessions, income, what you own and how you get it. Okay, so there's somebody who envies how you get wealth. I'm hearing the ease with which you get it and whatever it is that you do to get wealth. I'm hearing the word extraordinary. There's an extraordinary gift that you have where you're able to attract abundance by doing a multitude of things. 1313 on the timer. This feels like death to somebody. They're like, oh, they got the Midas touch. Oh, you know, it's like their worst nightmare. Yeah, here it says earning power. This is Taurus energy, by the way. Also, your home is blessed and abundant. Okay. Oh, if this card comes out one more time. Well, it wasn't this card, but it was a similar one. It was that somebody was planning to do this. But this person, listen, they would bring harm to anyone. It doesn't matter if it's a young person. I'm getting also older people. Not just mature, but like the elderly. If they feel that they can gain some money from it. That's what it is. Because it came out right after second house. So this person, trigger warning, but this person has done vicious, hideous things to youth in order to gain money. I'm not going any further into that. But if you know, you know. And if this is your reading, this is your reading. Okay? Thank you, Spirit. You're a major source of pride for your ancestors. They are abundant because of you. You have created a legacy. that is so wealthy. And I'm not just talking about monetary wealth. I'm talking about spiritual wealth as well. That's why you were so attractive to this stalking individual. Okay. Okay, regarding Henry. This person has been through a very... Okay, they're having a tower. They're having a tower that has shaken them upside down all around. And they're wearing a frown. Okay, so it's that this person is afraid because they are watching you be at peace and do what you're called to do, and they are going through the worst disruption in their life. And a part of me doesn't even want to say the worst disruption, because the things that this person was doing need to be disrupted. They were out here harming young people, okay? That activity needs to be disrupted for sure, with a quickness. And it has. And that's where they're freaking out, because they don't know how to survive without these things, without these hideous actions that they have formed patterns doing just over and over and over. And they've had many towers, like small towers, like, oh, that failed, okay, oh. If this is a narcissist, they've had narcissistic collapses before, okay? But as long as a narcissist finds another source of supply, they can recharge, okay? It'll always end in another tower, because what they have built is not sustainable. It's with someone's energy. They've stolen energy. This person could have siphoned the energy of a star, 1717 on the timer. You could be this star, beautiful being. I mean, that's the vibe that's coming through this reading, that of a star. But what's making this person freak out now is that they have never had their world completely turned upside down. Everything they built is crumbling. Everything. That could also be one reason why they're having trouble reaching you at this time, because they don't have the stamina to do it. Gossip is never a threat. Not for those who are divinely aligned. Gossip is never a threat, because anything that someone might be saying about you behind your back, it's either false or it's truth. And so why would you, there's no reason to fear anything that's said about you that's false, because it's going to fail. Like, it's going to crumble. It's not true. And if they're speaking truth about you, oh, they're psychic. Oh, yeah, you are. Hello. You are intuitive. Okay? But this narcissist, and they're coming through now as a narcissist, has spread so much gossip about you. But it doesn't matter. It's not a threat to you, because even their gossip is on such a low level that it can't harm you. You're out of their reach energetically. I love that. You've learned, you've cleared. So you've learned a lot as well, beautiful being. But you've cleared ancestral karma and healed your DNA. That's why your ancestors are so proud of you. They were always proud of you. But it's like you've given them a reason now to just hail you as their beautiful, beautiful divine child. Yeah, a beautiful divine child. Ashe. You might be a happy homebody. You might stay at home a lot. Yeah, you could be centering and grounding yourself because you've needed to cleanse your energy from the woes of the world. I heard the woes of the world. Do you love on you? You're taking time to love on yourself. You passed a very important test. A very important test. There's more to the story. There's more to your story because you're continuing to grow. And you're going to find that your story unfolds in the most beautiful way because you are taking decisive action. That's why Spirit brought that through first and foremost, because they don't want you getting distracted by any gossip. And that could be because it came through that this person can't, this addicted stalker, they can't reach you like they used to. So I was like, I just felt like they might be doing something else because they can't connect with you telepathically in the way that they used to, or, you know, it's like you've leveled up, so they've maxed out, okay, of what they can do. So they could be gossiping. So who cares? Nobody is going to value this person's gossip if they have a grain of sense. Anyone with a half grain of sense is not going to value what this person has to say about you, because they're going to notice that this being fakes and fronts and breaks the law. Yeah, this is a criminal. This is a criminal. They have nothing to offer. Not even gossip. So they may have tried to spread some lies about you, but at the end of the day, and that's exactly what happened. This person tried to like revamp or respawn a smear campaign against you, and nobody wanted to hear it. They're like, we know you have nothing to offer. So this person has lost all credibility, especially when they speak on your name. And the way that happened is that this person went so hard against you, and people bought into it. Oh yeah, 2222, this person was making all kinds of connections based on their gossip and lies about you. And that's how they were trying to siphon your abundance, right? And so people were forming connections with them, and ooh yeah, you know, based on the hatred that they were spewing towards you. But you passed every test. That's what it, look, this says you passed a very important test. I'm hearing you passed every test. Okay? Both of those could resonate. And so you have shown that you have the strength, the courage, the wherewithal, the loyalty. I'm hearing you've got the loyalty. Who is that to? Take it as it resonates. For some of you, it's loyalty to yourself. Your self-love is so obvious. People can see your self-love from miles away. They can feel your self-love from one end of the earth to the other. So you might share something where people all around the world, like if you share something online, or if you've written a book or whatever, there are beings who are very far in physical distance who feel like they are right next to you. That's how strong your self-love is. I'm hearing you drop gems. Because the incense, you know how incense, like, it builds up and then it drops. It just fell. And you drop gems. You drop gems. And it's just beautiful how you do that. That's one way that you give love to people, is through your wisdom, your courage, and your loyalty. You're a very loyal being. And that makes sense because the Strength card came through. So the lion is loyal, okay? And proud. I'm hearing you have every reason to be proud. Chaos brings somebody comfort. Yes, it does, but not you. And so you were like, go on now. Go on, get it. Go on over there. You were not about to have chaos in your world because you vibe with peace. And see, the thing about it is that for this being, chaos that they spew or cause, stir up for other people, spew against other people, is what brings them comfort. But now the chaos is in their camp. The chaos is in their world, within their realm. And that's why they're so desperate. Yeah. Intentionally interfered with your finances. Yeah. But you see how that's written in green? Your abundance, I heard it has been restored. So I wanted to say it is being restored, but it has been restored. There's something that's already come back to you. This could be an energy where you have the energy to create wealth for yourself. Okay? Stability. I'm hearing that because of what you've been through, you appreciate what you have even more. Yeah. And see, once we learn lessons like that, we have such a deep sense of gratitude that we just naturally manifest more easily, because we don't hold on to things as much, and we don't, fear as much, because you know what you've been through. It's something like you went through something so awful that a lot of people would not ever want to, like, they wouldn't sign up to go through. They would not sign up to go through. But you've been through it, and so you've got the strength, you've got the muscles, those spiritual muscles, maybe even the physical muscles, okay, to know who you are. You know who you are because you're strong, because you've been through the worst. So that was a test, and you passed it. So now you can kind of sit back and be like, I know who I am. A lot of times that's the agony in life, right? Is like, what would I do if this happened? What would I do if that happened? And then when that actually happens, you don't have to worry anymore. Been there, done that. Maybe you wrote a book about it. Maybe you did, maybe you will. Maybe you'll make a movie about it. You've healed ancestral trauma. Yeah, that keeps coming through. Your ancestors adore you. Okay. I could pull those all night. Oh, I want to pull angels and ancestors. Let's see what's coming through here. Thank you, Spirit. What does this beautiful being need to know? Oh, they're all kind of mixed up. Let's see. Yeah. Some are upside down, some aren't. Kind of want to get yeah, that should be right. Let's see. Let's just shuffle and see what comes through. Thank you, Spirit. What message does this beautiful being need at this time? Guardian angel on the fence. So there's something about maybe perhaps you've been feeling doubtful about your protection. And there's no shame in that, because sometimes when you have been through, oh wow, yeah. Sometimes when you've been through something, right? It's almost like, am I safe? Okay? Because it keeps coming through that you went through something that was so difficult that a lot of people have not made it through a similar situation. And so sometimes there's this tendency to, as we're healing, focus on what has happened and ask, am I protected? Does divine have my back? Or it could just be a day where you're feeling the energy and you're like, Spirit, where you at? Where y'all at now? But divine wants you to know that you are not alone, and that your angels, ancestors, and particularly what's coming through here is your guardian angel. They protect you, okay? But you may have been feeling like that was on the fence lately. Yeah, divine says bask in the joy and light. All right, there's something about the light, the sun energy, the sweetness. I'm getting honey with the bee here. Heart guardian is in reverse. There's somebody that you feel like did not guard your heart. Okay, what I'm getting, I'm gonna be very honest. I'm so grateful that this is coming through, because what it feels like is, what What I'm hearing is like, God, where are you? Goddess, where are you? Isn't that a verse in the Bible? My God, why have you forsaken me? Didn't Jesus ask that when he was on the cross? Oh, bam. You experienced a situation where you felt like you were being sacrificed. You felt like, okay, take what resonates, right? You felt like you were suffering so deeply that you were just like, I don't know where my ancestors are. I don't know where my guardian angel is. Archangel Michael, where you at? You know, it was kind of like that. And I'm going to be honest with you. That was the purpose of this, was to, like, looking at it from the perspective of whoever this was that attacked you, that was projecting negative energy your way. It was to get you to question your divinity and to get you to question your relationship with the divine, to get you to question your protection. I'm seeing like a snake slithering, wanting to separate you from your ancestors. Yeah. It's like a snake wanted to come through and scare you so that you would want to get away from the snake, but really they were trying to push you away from your ancestors. Wow, divine, we getting this deep? Like, okay, they're saying this one. Okay, divine. Oh, wow. And then at the bottom of the deck we have harmonic convergence. Spirit, I got all kinds of chills. Okay, so whatever doubts you may have had in your ancestral connections, in your angelic protection, you are being reunited with your true divine spirits. Because I'm getting that whoever this was, they more than likely work with energy, okay? They more than likely work with energy. And they wanted you to fear your higher self. They wanted you to doubt your protection. They wanted you to be over in a corner, so afraid. And see, if you're in the corner afraid, you're not believing that you are divinely protected. They knew that if you were confident in your protection, that you'd be out here like this. This is a person who knows that you're gifted, and they know that you walk so closely with the divine. They know that you are divine. But there's something that they were trying to do intuitively, where they were like trying to program you to go away from your ancestors. They wanted to separate you from all that is divine. Look, this says, heart guardian, love and let yourself be loved. This person wanted you to feel like you were forsaken by everybody. Ancestors, angels, archangels, deities, gods, goddesses, who else? Jesus, everybody. They wanted you to feel like everybody had forsaken you. And not just spirits, but people in the flesh. Like other humans. They wanted you to feel like you were completely all alone. But guess what's happening? Guess what's happening, beautiful being? This harmonic convergence. And this is justice. And there's something, ooh, okay, visionary's dream. Because you're a visionary. Because even in those dark hours, those dark nights, where you were guessing and second guessing and wondering and maybe crying, okay? You still had a vision. There's something that was so ingrained inside of you that you would never let go of that. And it's your vision. Now, this doesn't have to just be, oh, and look, that's restoration of your abundance, financial abundance, because we're talking all kinds of abundance here. But particularly money, because I know finances, we need our stability, okay? But I'm getting visionary's dream. It's like this person Remember when the water cut off? It's like they can't get in your dreams anymore. I remember saying that. They were trying to project dreams to you that would separate you from your ancestral connections. Now, come on now. Like, they really thought. And the thing is that if you ever did question it, all that questioning did was lead you closer to this harmonic convergence. Because it's okay to ask. It's okay to ask, ancestors, where are you? I want to feel your presence. Where are you? Where are you, guardian angel? I need you. It's okay to ask them where they are and to call on them. That, like, we're actually supposed to do that. You know, it's good to do that because it helps build our relationship with them. And what I'm getting is that this was such a dark time that you went through that of course you were going to ask questions. Some of these things that we go through lead us to ask some of the deepest questions we'll ever ask. Is God real? What does God look like? What does God feel like? If God is real, why is this happening to me? You see, a lot of people see in religion, we're taught that any of that is blasphemy. But you know why they teach you that that's blasphemy? So that you won't ask questions. So that you won't ask questions that will actually spark your curiosity and get you to ask even more questions that get you to an answer that is real for you through the process of gnosis. Knowing for yourself, experiencing the spirit realm for yourself. Getting to that point where you will call out to the divine, call out to your ancestors and your archangels and your angels, and they will answer. That's what this person, this being, this system, whatever this energy was coming through, okay? Because sometimes it's a person, sometimes it's a group, okay? But whoever was projecting this energy and stalking and doing all of that, for some of you it could have been gang stalking. They were not counting on you continuing to ask questions, remain focused on your vision, continuing to have those beautiful divine dreams that you have, and manifesting harmonic convergence with spirit. That's what they were not betting on. But here we are. Here we are. And this leads to sacred balance. I'm just like, wow, more justice. But see, 3737, the thing about it is like, this is justice first and foremost within you. Because see, it's easy to be like, I want justice for you, like, get them divine. I know, we all have been there, but if we're honest. But we don't always know when justice is coming through for those beings who have been just messing everything up, right? We don't always know. But the beauty is in trusting that we are achieving sacred balance within ourselves. That's our justice, to become balanced again. And that way we don't have to see these beings as the ones who mess everything up, because guess what? They can't mess nothing up. They cannot mess a single thing up when you are in this state. That is the goal, to be here. And balance is always a very fine line, beautiful being. It's always a very fine line, right? But that is the divine path, and that's what we're called to do. And are we always there? No. But we can get there. You can get there. And what I'm seeing here is that if you have been feeling out of balance, you are achieving balance. This is also a divine gift that is manifesting for you, because divine sees you. Whatever it is that you've been doubting about your path, about your protection, you are experiencing that harmonic convergence. Someone's in a prison of regret. What was that? If I could turn back time. And you don't have to live in a prison of regret. You will never live in a prison of regret. Why? Because you're balanced. Whoever this was who was harming people and doing all of this and that and the third, they were not worried about any kind of balance. In fact, they wanted chaos, which is not balance. They wanted disorder. And there are times where, you know, like Mother Nature, where she tears everything up in order to restore yet again. This person wanted constant chaos. And that is not natural. That's not the natural balance and order of things. So that's why no matter what they want to happen, things are being balanced for you, and they are in a prison of regret. Okay? And you're experiencing cosmic expansion, beautiful being. Okay. Wow. Thank you, Spirit. I'm getting that like everything that you want to expand is expanding. Just don't doubt your protection, please. All right? Because as long as you're divinely aligned, you are also divinely protected. The two go hand in hand. Thank you, Spirit. Oh, I had already pulled from here, but here we go. This is our last card. Miracles. Ashe. And not only are you manifesting miracles, but you are a miracle. Like, after seeing, and I know this is just a reading, but your life, there's a whole lot more that would be on this board if I read your whole life. But I'm seeing a glimpse of it, right? And I can tell just from these 40 minutes, you are a miracle. Because it is amazing. Okay, you know how amazing grace. Yeah, that's you. How sweet the sound. You are an amazing miracle, an amazing manifestation. And grace runs through you. And divine sees that. Your ancestors, your angels, your archangels will never give up on you. Because you are so amazing and because you are a miracle. And that's what you've chosen for yourself. Because you could have chosen to spread chaos. You could have chosen to harm others. You could have chosen to give up. But you didn't. And so because of the choices you've made, not only are you a miracle, but you're manifesting miracles. Ashe. Thank you, Spirit. I am so grateful for this reading. Thank you. And I'm so grateful that you allow these messages to flow through me, Divine. Thank you, beautiful being, so much for taking the time to tune in. I appreciate you. I also appreciate your likes, your kind comments, your shares, your hypes, your subscribes, your donations, every bit of love that you send to this space of In Her Dreams. Okay? Every bit of love. I am so grateful for it. I'm getting chills again, y'all. Okay. I love you, and I wish you peace. I wish you joy and so many blessings. Beautiful being. Take care.